Hello and welcome to Euphoria. Well, we've made quite a few changes to the city layout recently, including the addition of the new town hall in prime position on the main plaza. Whenever we make changes to the city layout, there's an opportunity to change and improve things. Today, I want to look again at the main square in the centre of the Lego city, which is called Harmonia Plaza, and see what we can do to develop the layout a bit more in this area. There's been quite a few major changes to the city layout recently, due mostly to the creation and introduction of the new town hall. We moved the brick bank and laundrette away from its prime location on the main plaza and placed it in the old town area. We installed the new town hall in its rightful place, facing squarely onto the plaza. We created this new space, or little square, next to the old astronomical clock tower. We moved the pet shop modular building over to this side of the layout, where it fits neatly next to this apartment building. I spent some time recently fixing the side of that building, which is one of my own creations, and now you can't see that at all, but never mind. And we repositioned the Honeydukes sweet shop and created this street in the old town. There's such a lot to do. I'm making a few shorter videos about the changes, although with so much to do I'm not sure they'll be that short. This is the second video about developing the city layout after adding the town hall to the city. In a recent video I showed you the updates from the old town area, where I repaved the new street in the old town and created this little open space, or small square, that forms part of the old town and joins on to the main plaza. In this video I'll be looking again at the main square called Harmonia Plaza. And in a further video I'm hoping to look at the right hand side of the layout with buildings that form the business district. This is the main square or plaza in my Lego city. It's been a central feature of the city layout ever since I first created the city with just a few buildings. It started off as a 48 stud by 48 stud square, but since then it's been expanded when we added the large fountain in the middle with its 4 lobes and the central monument. Now it's 64 by 64 studs and has some nice patterns in the paving around the fountain and defining the edge of the plaza. On the left-hand side of the plaza we have this elegant building, which is the Parisian restaurant modular building from Lego. This little square was developed recently as part of a rearrangement of the old town area of the city. The old astronomical clock tower is one of my favourite mocks, and it's been a major feature of the plaza for a long time, with its clock mechanism being a major tourist attraction for the city. Also, quite recently, we moved the Princess Catherine monument from its old spot on the plaza, where it had been sort of left behind by other changes, into the new little square where it properly marks the entrance to the old town. In the corner is a townhouse, which is one half of the pet shop modular building. Taking pride of place facing onto the plaza is the new town hall. This mock took me a long time to design and build, but now forms a central part of the city layout with its imposing presence on the main plaza. On the right-hand side of the square is the Sanctum Sanctorum building. I love the style of this building, but there are a few things I would like to do to modify it, which I need to find time to get round to. There's a small passage at the side, which leads through to the business district. Then we have another one of my mocks. This is a combination of a small yellow townhouse in traditional style with an apartment building with a cafe on the ground floor in a more modern style. Now we've had a look round this busy plaza, let's move on to think about how we might improve it. Now would also be a good time to incorporate some great suggestions from my viewers and the results of a poll I ran recently on YouTube. We're going to start by looking at the base plates used for the plaza. Although this started off as a 48 by 48 stud square, it was soon expanded to be 64 by 64 studs, which we created on 4 32 by 32 standard base plates. Although I originally built the fountain in the centre on one 32 by 32 base plate, when I transferred it into the centre of the plaza, it was built across all 4 base plates and connected them all together at the centre. And when we placed the new town hall in the city, we knew that the portico and its pediment would extend out beyond the 2 base plates that the town hall is built on. The portico is built partly on the town hall base plates and partly on those used for the plaza. So the new town hall building has become connected to the plaza base plates. And that means there are now 6 base plates all connected together. That makes it a bit difficult if I want to remove the town hall or the fountain for cleaning, adjustment or display, or to do any work on any other part of the plaza. So I'm going to look at disentangling this so that it's a bit more manageable. What I'd really like to do is put the fountain back on a 32 by 32 base plate in the middle and make it possible to remove the town hall without having to take the plaza with it. So I'm going to modify the structure of the base plates on which the plaza is built. I've worked out one way to do that using a combination of the half modular 16 by 32 stud base plates and some smaller 16 by 16 base plates. So I'll be moving the current plaza onto this new structure as I make the changes throughout this video. As I move the plaza onto the new baseplate structure, I'm also going to adjust the paving pattern in the plaza. This is the current pattern in the paving. It's all made out of the 2x2 tiles that are used as paving stones. They're mostly in dark bluish grey. There's a kind of knot pattern in light bluish grey around the fountain, then a circle of dark tan around that, and another knot type of pattern in light bluish grey round the outside. There are two things I want to do to the pattern here. I want to move the border pattern round the outside nearer to the edge of the plaza. There's room to move the edge pattern outwards by 2 studs or one 2x2 tile, and that should give room to expand the circle slightly, probably by 1 tile in radius, hopefully giving a feeling of slightly more space in the plaza. So I'll make a start on those changes to the paving in the plaza. The first thing to do is to remove the plaza, and unfortunately that means dismantling the portico of the town hall to allow the disconnection of the plaza base plates again from the town hall base plates. Then I can slide the plaza out from its place in the city layout and put it over here on the build table. Changing the patterns starts off easily enough in this corner, but then it gets more complicated over here, where the seating, tables and parasols need to fit in with the pattern in the paving. On the right hand side of the plaza, it's fairly easy to adjust the pattern of the paving as I transfer it across onto the smaller base plate, and that continues the pattern around this side of the plaza. The transfer at the back of the plaza is also fairly straightforward, and of course this is the base plate that will connect to the town hall base plates, because the portico will be rebuilt onto this area of this base plate. You might also notice that the bike rack has disappeared from next to the portico, and I'll come on to that in a minute. The right hand side of the plaza is also straightforward, and I can fill in the hole where the monument used to be. That just leaves the central part containing the fountain. I'm going to transfer that onto a single 32x32 base plate that will fit nicely right in the centre of the plaza. That's a fairly straightforward transfer, although of course I have to rebuild the fountain itself, as well as moving the paving that surrounds it. Now, if I reassemble the whole thing, we can see the slightly revised pattern of paving, giving perhaps the feeling of a bit more space inside the plaza. Now I'm going to look at the bike rack. You might remember when we installed the new town hall in position on the main plaza, we found that the portico was a bit close to the bike rack, and we had to move the bike rack sign to fit everything in, and that corner became a bit cramped. One of my subscribers made the suggestion that I move the bike rack away from that corner by the town hall and over to the opposite corner of the plaza. Thank you for that suggestion, and I think it's a good one. So, having removed the bike rack from the corner by the town hall, when I redid the paving in that area, I'm going to put it back in the opposite corner. I'll just put it on this side here, where there's now quite a lot of space. That was easy, and now we're almost ready to put the plaza back in place in the Lego City. In a recent video, I discussed the option of removing the kerbstones from the modular buildings facing onto the plaza. Those are the longer tiles in light bluish grey at the edge of the base plates. I tried that for the town hall when I installed it and thought it looked okay. It is a break with the conventions for modular buildings, but I felt it might make sense when there isn't a road in front of the building and hence no need for a curb. I got some useful feedback on the idea, so I ran a poll on the YouTube channel asking what you thought about the idea. Thanks to those of you who participated in the poll. The result of the poll was that about 2/3 of you thought it would be okay to remove the kerbstones. While I'm not entirely governed by the result of that poll, I think that result gives me confidence to proceed with removing the kerbstones from these modulars. So, while the plaza is out on the build table, it's actually only a 5-minute job and very easy to reverse if it doesn't work out. So here we are with the curbs removed and replaced with normal 2x2 tiles. We'll see what that looks like when the plaza is put back. Now we've finished all the changes, we can put the plaza back in position. I'll start with the piece that connects to the town hall so that I can rebuild the portico, which just goes back together fairly easily. Then it's a simple job to put the smaller pieces of the plaza back in position individually. The fountain is much easier to put back now that it's all on one base plate. When the rest of the plaza goes back, we can see the new layout of the patterns in the paving. I think that looks much better without the kerbstones forming an artificial visual barrier between the plaza and the buildings. And the plaza connects better to the new square on one side, the space in front of the town hall at the back, and the little alleys that run between the buildings on the other side. So that's all the changes to the plaza area of the city for the moment. We changed the baseplate structure so that the plaza is rather more modular in construction. We've changed the pattern of paving slightly so that the space inside feels slightly larger. We moved the bike rack so that the main entrance to the new town hall doesn't feel as cramped. And we've removed the kerbstones from the adjoining buildings so that there's a better sense of continuity throughout the plaza. Those are not massive changes, but I hope you agree that they are small improvements to an important area of the city. Let me know what you think about these changes to the plaza. Next, I'll be moving on to look at the next set of improvements to the business district on the right-hand side of the city layout. Don't forget to support the channel by hitting that like button and use the bell button to be notified of new videos, and subscribe to the channel to see more about my mocks, other builds and ideas, and updates on my LEGO City.